What's up, guys? So a couple weeks ago I had the pleasure of fishing with Greg Blanchard, aka G Money, because when he's on the kayak he's money, and if he's not, it's an in-and-out day, and in-and-out is also money. But I wasn't gonna post a video because I didn't catch any fish and I didn't think I had enough footage. But after reviewing the footage, Greg has such a wealth of knowledge, and I think a lot of you Greg fans and a lot of aspiring YouTube creators are going to find the information he has very helpful. So like, subscribe, comment below, let me know what you guys think. How did you start getting into fishing?
My grandpa took me fishing. I think it's like the same thing for most people. Like, I was little, my grandpa took me fishing, and just, bank, bobber, worm, live bait, stuff like that. But I was little, man. I was like 4 years old, I think, 3, 4. But that's when the addiction started, for sure.
And then when did you start kayak?
2013, I believe it was. No, 2012. My family would rent a cottage on one of the lakes we lived by, and we'd rent a boat, like an actual boat with, I think it had like a 25 horsepower motor on it. So it was like my one time of the year to get off the bank and like actually be in a boat. And that one year, 2012, we had to return the boat. We still were there at the cottage for a couple of days, and they had kayaks under the cottage. So I took those out. And dude, like when I say I was taking the boat out, I was like literally driving it in the middle of the lake and then just casting a spinnerbait and reeling it in, or like a worm. I had no idea what I was doing. But that last couple of days, I tried that kayak, and I just took it around the docks and stuff and caught like a million fish. Like more fish than I did out of the boat. So that Christmas I asked for a kayak, and I got one. Dude, I took that thing around town, around New York, around central New York, and I mean, I pretty much sucked at fishing in the grand scheme of things, but I was catching some fish, getting off the bank. Ironically, the same time I got a GoPro and like a nicer computer. And the first year kayak fishing, I didn't put it on YouTube, but the second year, 2013, that's when I started posting everything on YouTube, just for fun.
So right now, I kind of look at it as, I want to say, 3 main areas of the whole fishing and YouTube game. For me, it's the boating, then the fishing, and then the video, right? So of boating, the pre-game would be like just learning drive a tow vehicle, right? Yeah. During is like driving the boat, learning the nicks and knacks, and then post is the maintenance of the boat. And then of fishing, obviously there's the whole kind of learning techniques, putting those techniques to action. And then post is if you actually like kind of learn what you did, right? Study a little bit. And then of editing, right, there's obviously pre-production, then learning the camera to shoot, and then the whole post-production, like your software, posting the YouTube, everything, right? So there's a process flow for each of these sections. At what point, as far as kayaking goes, how long did it take you to get like your whole process down?
That's a really good question. Actually, I've never really thought about it like that. So yeah, like I said, I've been doing it, literally filming, fishing, and posting on YouTube since 2013. Oh yeah,
we're on.
Timeout. We're on the board.
Finally.
I mean, I don't think it's gonna be anything spectacular,
but we're on the board at least.
The question is, what species? That's smallmouth. It's not bad. 4 hours, or however long it was. Yeah, I've been doing it since 2013, so that's what, 7 years of literally every time I go out fishing, making a video. And it's definitely been an evolution of the process, but I will honestly say, like, this year, to be totally honest, this year is the first year where I felt like super comfortable just doing everything. Like, it's second nature right now.
Yeah.
It's like, I would feel so weird if I did not have cameras rolling on like fishing. Talking to my camera now, absolutely no big deal in the beginning. Even like a couple of years ago, I'd feel super awkward just talking to the camera, or just being around people and talking, you know. So this is like literally the first year. I feel like I've done it so many times now that, I mean, I definitely don't even think about it. And before I would have to think about it.
Yeah.
The editing doesn't change. That's always kind of a, you know, that's work. But now it's easy. It's easy, just film and fish, talk. I think that's one thing that can be tough, and even for me, because I don't really talk a lot, to be honest. I'm not like a super outgoing person in general. But in the beginning, or in the years past, like I would have to say, you need to talk a little more. You're just sitting here catching fish. That's fine, but that's not, you know, that's not adding good value to what you're doing and showing people. But now I just talk a lot more on the water, and I think it helps. I mean, because you know, if you're the viewer, you might want to know what the thought process is.
Yeah,
stuff
definitely.
like that. But yeah, that's a good question. I honestly would say this is the first year where I felt like I had it like down, you know, like it's just smooth, second nature, you know, transitions of everything.
You know, I've noticed in a couple of your videos where, you know, maybe it was like Clear Lake where the weather was, you know, kind of rough, or the waves were, you know, pretty big and might have got dangerous, right? Like, how long did it take you to get comfortable in the maneuvering the kayak and knowing its capabilities, knowing what you could and can't do? How long did that take?
So the only time I've actually ever flipped a kayak was not in the current boat I'm in. Right now I'm in a Titan 10.5, pretty stable, pretty wide. I did flip a Slayer 13, which was about a half a foot narrower, back in 2016. I kind of have like just this general rule now, like 20-mile-an-hour winds. If we're getting to 20 plus, first of all, we're not even going out. But if for some reason we are out and it's 20 and in the wrong direction, because as you know, some of these lakes, if it's coming from a certain direction, it can just be insanity. We're getting off. Right now I got a pretty simple setup, so it's pretty comfortable with it. A couple GoPros, your phone, SD cards, external hard drive. But it's tough though when you're saying like a new guy that wants to get into YouTube or social media, you know, YouTube will say, then if they've never done it, like any filming or I just cast right next to you. Editing or stuff like that, it's like it's a lot of stuff. It's like a lot of stuff to deal with. Like you got cameras now rolling, you got to worry about cards, you got to worry about batteries, external power, uploading into your computer. I mean, that's a lot of stuff all at once. For me, it was all, like I said, kind of gradual, kind of along the way.
You know, it wasn't too long ago I did my first video, and I was like, man, I'm trying to catch fish, but I'm worried about if I press record, right? Like, I still need to catch fish first.
I'll still look at my camera to make sure I'm.
Right.
I see me do that all day.
It's like, honestly, what I saw from a lot of guys that are posting is the progression of becoming a better angler, right? Like, just being able to see yourself, how much you, like, I suck, and then one big thing, like on my first video, my brother said, or he's always told me like, dude, why are you casting like that? Or what are you doing? And then it took me a couple times to watch my video and say, oh, that's why I was holding the casting rod with just one finger and not two. Right?
Yeah, but I would say, I mean, and this is something I forget all the time too, is like, who's watching your videos? I think sometimes we assume that like the people watching our videos are like us or better or near, you know. Dude, I get so many comments that are really basic questions.
Oh, really?
You know, so you might have like the beginner fisherman up there watching your videos, and you even something that might not seem like a big deal to you that you say or, you know, provide information on could be super valuable. Even like, you know, leader length or depth, anything could be super valuable to somebody. You just don't know. I would say the one thing I needed to get better at was like talking to the camera when there's someone right there. I'd be like, what do they think? Am I crazy? But
Yeah.
I've done it so many times now, it just doesn't faze me. As far as like videos go, I say one thing I've definitely improved on is like the flow of a video. So like, it's cool if you catch a 6-pound bass and it takes you, 2 minutes to reel it in, but dude, that's a long time for someone nowadays to literally watch you catch a giant fish.
Yeah.
Like, I've realized in this age, like our attention spans are so short. Like, if we don't get interested within the first 5 seconds of something, we're clicking off, unless we really want to watch it.
Yeah.
So I think that, that aspect of my videos, like if I catch a nice fish, unless it's really important, I'm not going to show you the whole fight. You know? I'm going to go to this, the important stuff. Same with like talking. I'm not going to have long pauses in between. And you can probably see that from my videos. I cut it up so that, things are kind of closer together.
I was actually just looking at your channel yesterday, and I think what a lot of people want to know is your first videos that you posted that have millions of views. What was the story behind it? Was that strategic?
No. No. I think I know what the video you're talking about. I think it was a Good Morning America segment. We had it on TV. I think it was a Time Warner box, so we could rewind it. And I think I was in the living room with my mom. We were like, "What did that lady just say?" Because I think the video is called "Did She Just Say What I Think She Did?"
Yeah.
And it was a Good Morning America segment, and it was a lady who was a psychiatrist, a clinical psychiatrist, and they were talking about adult ADD, and her name was Jenna Taylor, Dr. Jenna Taylor. And one of the hosts said at the end, want to thank Dr. Jenna Taylor. Just the irony of a segment on, adult ADD, and she calls her Dr. Genitalia. The cool thing about YouTube too is it like gives you analytics, like everything. It tells you everything about your well, not everything, not like your bank account information, stuff like that, but like it tells you gender, age, where they're watching, countries. View time, what's your average view time? How long are people averaging watching your video? And even for me, it's like usually a quarter to a half of a video before people, average click off. So you got to think, if your video is 10 minutes long and you're still talking at the 5-minute mark, well, you're screwed.
You're gone.
Yeah. So, I don't know. These are things, by the way, I've learned in like the past year. Like this year I started looking into these kind of things a lot more. There's so much to learn about it.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
And do you think it's just because of the growth of your channel happened within that?
Kinda. Not so much the growth, just the fact that I would say right now at this point, like it takes up a good part of my time, so I need to be knowledgeable in what I'm doing. So in the past I've known, in the past I've kind of just uploaded a video and there it is, but you kind of want to be mindful of what you're working with, and little key things that make a video good, or really anything. Like I said, the information YouTube provides you with what you're putting out is you can use it to your advantage. I mean,
it sounds like you started your channel based on a hobby, and just because you liked it. So I'm imagining you didn't ever dream of having, what do you have, 80,000 subscribers now? Like that's
yeah, it's crazy.
Like that's pretty amazing.
It's cool.
Right?
I don't know. I feel very lucky to have that kind of following, but I would still be fit. If I didn't have YouTube, I'd still be fishing just as much.
Yeah,
maybe more actually, because editing now takes a little longer. But I don't know. I still, in a way, like yes, I take it seriously now. Like, it's something I do on a weekly basis, but like, I mean, it's still a hobby. It's still fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a part of me now. You know,
Yeah.
fishing, filming, editing.
Yeah.
But the thing you got to realize too, and I'm completely aware of this, is like YouTube, anything, social media, could be gone in the next year. Like, not gone, but like,
Yeah.
maybe, I mean, maybe my videos and content will fizzle out. Maybe it's just, you know, maybe, because sometimes channels have like a lifespan of when they're kind of hot, and you know, that's the thing. Like, I don't want to be like so attached or so like set on like subscribers or views. Like, if it all goes down the drain in like 5 years or 10 years, and you know, I mean, I'll still do it, but like, I'm not gonna be hurt about it, you know.
Yeah.
It's just how it is.